is WBUC News. WBUC News starts now.
Welcome to the Friday Show, Best of 2013. I'm Trenton Davis.
And I'm Kiera Allen. In this episode, we look back at some of our best stories from this year.
Earlier this year, the Hoover High School students and staff experienced multiple Code Yellow lockdowns. The most recent one was the third lockdown in a month and a half. My co-anchor, Kiera Allen, researched the procedures for such lockdowns and the importance of always understanding it could be real.
It is not unusual that students hear over the intercom that the school is going to either a code red or code yellow lockdown. However, the school is required to have drills to prepare for such events. But recently, 2 code yellow lockdowns were not drills at all. They were real. School Resource Officer Christopher Bryant says that both incidents ended with little conflict and that being prepared served its purpose.
Thankfully, it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, we have procedures in place and we follow them, and everything works out like it's supposed to.
Not only do the drills prepare the students for a real situation, but they remind them the importance of not freaking out when the school goes into lockdown mode.
Stay calm. They should know that they have people out here that are going to protect them, and that the main thing is to follow instructions. There's a teacher in the room for a reason, and they should listen to them.
Of course, listening to the authority is important to safety. Taking the lockdown seriously is also important because you can't be sure if it is real or a drill.
I didn't think it was real at first, so I kind of just treated it like, whatever. I was like, yeah, free class time, I can do, we get a break from class. During a code yellow lockdown, teachers are to open their door and let all students from the hallway inside the classrooms. But during a code red lockdown, teachers are to shut their doors immediately, turn off the lights, and not let anyone into or out of their classroom. But what if you're not inside the classroom? If students are locked outside the classroom during a code yellow lockdown, they are to walk to the nearest classroom and knock on the door. But if locked out during a code red, go to the nearest restroom and hide in the stall. Bryant says students do not need to fear because they are protected.
There's people out here that are going to protect them, and we're out here for them, and hopefully they realize that, and they can just stay calm and let us take care of it.
While remaining calm during a lockdown is important, the most important thing is to understand it could be real. Reporting for WBUC News, I'm Kiera Allen. Many people think that driving to Tuscaloosa for an Alabama football game is tiring. Imagine running that distance. Reporter Chris Brady and producer Wes Maha have the story on the cross-country team that did just that.
35 members of the Hoover cross-country team piled onto a bus at 5:45 in the morning and drove to the University of Alabama's track. They were about to attempt to run from there back to Hoover High School. The team got out of the bus, warmed up, and started the 51-mile journey back to Hoover High. The Tuscaloosa run had begun.
Well, we did the Tuscaloosa run because I wanted something that would be challenging enough that the athletes would train over the summer, and I wanted something challenging enough that it would be something they'd remember for the rest of their lives.
Cross-country runner Nathan Wall was anxious about completing the task before the run had even started.
I felt very nervous because I was nervous if I was going to finish or not, because not everyone was able to finish.
Cross-country coach Devin Hine felt that seeing the runners who doubted themselves finish was unforgettable.
And folks that didn't think they could do it, when they finished, the look on their faces was just priceless.
Coach was beyond impressed with every runner who participated.
Really, I could go through every single person, and I was amazed really at what everybody did.
The run came to a close a day after it had started, with most runners now able to say they had run from Tuscaloosa to Hoover. For WBUC News, I'm Chris Brady.
The whole idea of school is career readiness, whether it be moving on to the college level or moving directly into the workforce. A program at Hoover High School, known as Co-op, gives students the opportunity to get on-the-job experience and training. WBUC's Chase Atkinson has this look at Hoover High School's Co-op program.
Co-op is a program that allows students to balance schoolwork while also working a job part-time. This program benefits students because it gives them back some time to help them excel in school while also working a job. Co-op student Connor Bolin believes it is important to take full advantage of time in class.
You just make sure you're studying while you're in class and making sure you pay attention a lot. That way you know what's going on in class, you know all the content, so when you're at home you really don't have to study as much. And if you have homework, if you have time in class, you try to do as much as you can because you're only in the class for a certain amount of time.
Co-op coordinator Jill Westerland says that co-op is a good fit for some students, while it may not be a good fit for others.
Well, it depends. If you are a strong enough student that you can handle managing your time well, then it's a great idea. If you're going to work anyway while you're a high school student, then you've got to be a good time manager. So some students can handle it. Some students might struggle with balancing the expectations. It also depends on the type of school workload you carry. If you take lots of AP classes, it may be really hard to squeeze in time for a job.
It kind of teaches you how to balance all the extra stuff you have to do, say when you get older and you have a job and family. It kind of helps you balance all your extra stuff and manage money and schoolwork.
Co-op is available for juniors and seniors who've completed at least one career tech course. For WBUC News, I'm Chase Atkinson.
Now that Hoover High School has finished almost half of the school year, you could say the freshmen and newcomers to the school have gotten used to the size of the campus. However, this wasn't the case for the first week of school. My co-anchor, Trenton Davis, reported on this story earlier this year.
Many students attending Hoover High School could have anxiety due to the size of the school. However, it could be even more challenging for a new student. Freshman Blake Megan says that his biggest fear came true.
I got lost. I walked off campus at least 4 times since I've been here by accident, trying to find my classes.
You walked off
Yeah,
campus?
yes sir.
Where did you go?
Because I on the exit, it looked like the courtyard, so I went out there and then the door closed behind me and I couldn't get back in, so I had to go to the main office.
Not every new student lost their way. Freshman Cassidy Bradley says that doing a dry run of her schedule beforehand helped.
Actually, because I had gotten a tour from someone who just followed my schedule, I kind of followed the route that I remembered, so it wasn't too hard.
The physical size of the school isn't the only obstacle to think about. For first-year student Trey Johnson, the amount of people can be extremely intimidating.
It feels kind of weird because you're not used to it. You gotta like, you can't relate to it, coming from a small town.
Trey got a head start to his Hoover experience by attending summer football workouts. He believes making friends is not that difficult and socializing is the key.
I mean, you just have to talk to people. You just have to talk and be vocal and just talk to them and get to know them a little bit.
And Blake Megan finally found a solution to his problem.
A lot of my friends have the same class as me and they know where they're going, so I pretty much just follow them.
Reporting for WBUC, I'm Trenton Davis.
Our final story is one that would lead most newscasts. The Hoover Bucks are headed back to the 6A state championship. WBUC's Hub Roberts is on our sports set and has this report on Hoover's road to the championship game.
The Hoover Bucks are headed back to the state 6A championship for the 13th time in the last 14 years. Many of the team's record 29 straight wins looked easy, but the last 2 games have been anything but.
In round 3 of the playoffs, the Bucks head up north to face the Florence Falcons. Broderick Shaw starts off the night with a 4-yard touchdown run for the Bucks, giving them the lead 6-0. Kendrick Doss takes it to the house on a 3-yard touchdown run. Florence captures the lead 7-6. Hunter Smith puts up a 34-yard field goal for the Hoover Buccaneers, handing them the 9-7 lead. Florence comes out after the half and puts a 7 on the board off an 8-yard Doss carry. Florence advantage 14-9. Justin Johnson pulls in a Hutchison 52-yard touchdown pass. Hoover on top 16-14. Florence catches Hoover off guard with a Doss 89-yard touchdown pass to William Barnett. Florence putting Hoover in the hole 21-16. Hutchison finds Elam in the end zone on his tiptoes for the game-winning touchdown pass and gives the Bucks the win, 22-21. Hoover advanced to the semifinals where they face their arch rival, the Vestavia Hills Rebels. The semifinal, Hoover versus Vestavia Hills. Winner goes on to the state championship. Loser goes home.
Broderick Shaw starts off the scoring for the Hoover Bucks on a 5-yard touchdown run. With 2 Vestavia scores in between, Hunter Smith tacks on a 34-yard field goal, making the score 14-10 Vestavia. Vestavia's Jordan Johnson scores on a 45-yard touchdown run late in the second quarter, and then comes out after halftime, knocking in an 8-yard run for the Rebels, and then Hoover's comeback begins. Broderick Shaw starts the comeback on a 4-yard run, making the score 28-17. Jack Hutchison's pass of 10 yards is caught by Cooper Carton for the Buccaneer touchdown. PAT is missed by Hunter Smith. Score goes 28-23 Vestavia. And Jack Hutchison connects with Leonard Wood for 17 yards for the eventual game-winning touchdown pass. Hoover going for 2 right here. Hutchison finds Malika in the corner of the end zone and converts the 2-point conversion. Hoover 31, Vestavia 28. Hoover wins the ball game 31-28 and will now go on to the road to Tuscaloosa next week to face the Auburn High School Tigers in the 6A state championship. For WBUC News, I'm Hub Roberts.
That's all we have for this show. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Hoover High News.
Thanks for watching. We hope you have a great day.
And go Bucks!